Your phone could be silently stealing years from your life. Not because it's evil, but because of how, when, and how long you use it. Tonight, we're going to connect the dots between screen habits and aging. Not in a fear-based, throw your phone in the ocean way, but in a practical design your digital life so it stops working against your biology sort of way. We'll break down how screens hijack your sleep, movement, metabolism, and attention, and then I'll walk you through a 7-day digital detox challenge most people are able to stick to. If you're new here, welcome to Longevity Compass. We help you live longer, stronger, and clearer, using tools that work in the real world. If you find value in this video, please tap like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you evidence-based content. And when we're done, check the description for our Longevity Compass book on Amazon, along with a few carefully chosen tools to support your sleep and digital boundaries. Now, let's talk about how the glowing rectangle in your hand can quietly age you, and what to do about it. Think of your nervous system as a 24-hour orchestra. Light, movement, food, and social cues are the conductors. What about screens? They're the drummer who shows up late at night, plays offbeat, and keeps everyone else from resting. The first big problem is circadian disruption. Your body runs on a roughly 24-hour clock, and one of the strongest signals that sets that clock is light, especially blue-rich light. Evening screen use tells your brain, it's still daytime, keep going. In a massive cohort of over 120,000 adults, people who used screens in the hour before bed were much more likely to report poor sleep and later bedtimes. The effect was even stronger in night owls, who are already inclined to drift late. You don't need a lab to know this. Scroll at 11:30, blink, and suddenly it's 1 a.m., and actually, controlled lab studies back this up. When people read on a light-emitting e-reader at night instead of a paper book, their melatonin is suppressed, their circadian clock shifts later, they take longer to fall asleep, and they feel less alert the next morning. Same story with smartphones. Bright light and stimulating content delay sleep and fragment the deep stages your brain and body need to repair. Sleep is your nightly repair cycle. If you keep nudging it later and shorter with late-night scrolling, you shrink that repair window, night after night. That's not just feeling tired. Over time, short and irregular sleep tracks with higher risk of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and earlier mortality. The second big issue is that screens usually come with stillness. Sitting is not the new smoking. That's a catchy oversimplification, but long, unbroken bouts of sitting are absolutely a problem. In accelerometer studies, where people wore devices that objectively measured movement, those who sat 10 or more hours per day had significantly higher risk of cardiovascular events and death, even after accounting for exercise. When researchers looked at screen time as a proxy, they found similar patterns. More than 5 to 6 hours of recreational screen time a day shows a clear bump in cardiovascular risk. It's not the screen pixels that clog arteries. It's the hours of not moving. Your muscles aren't contracting, your glucose isn't being cleared efficiently, your blood vessels aren't getting the gentle shear stress they like, and your brain isn't getting those small pulses of movement-linked blood flow. The good news: movement can offset a lot of this. Analyses suggest that around 30 to 40 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity a day, plus breaking up long sitting stretches with short movement snacks, can blunt much of the risk from prolonged sitting. But if your entire evening is couch plus scroll, you're stacking stillness and light and stimulation in exactly the wrong direction. The third issue is metabolic and especially visible in kids and teens, but it matters for adults too. Longitudinal studies have followed children from early life into adolescence and adulthood. They consistently show that higher daily screen time is linked with higher waist circumference, higher blood pressure, worse insulin sensitivity, and higher cardiometabolic risk scores. When you add short sleep on top of that screen time, the risk climbs even more. In other words, the combination of too much screen plus too little sleep leaves a fingerprint in the body: higher blood sugar, more visceral fat, more strain on blood vessels. You don't have to live in fear of every Netflix episode. But it's worth asking, is your default relaxation habit nudging your biology toward or away from resilience? Then there's attention. This one doesn't show up in your lab tests, but it absolutely changes your behavior, and behaviors shape aging. Several clever experiments have shown that simply having your phone visible on your desk, face down, reduces your available cognitive capacity compared to having it in another room. Your brain is quietly monitoring it in the background, costing you working memory and focus. Other work has found that heavy media multitaskers, people constantly switching between apps, tabs, and devices, perform worse on sustained attention and memory tasks. They're more distractible, and their brains show different activation patterns. Why does this matter for longevity? Because your ability to focus is what allows you to follow through on everything else. Cooking at home instead of defaulting to takeout, finishing a walk instead of bailing for a notification, holding a bedtime instead of just one more video. Think of focus and attention as meta-longevity skills. Screens, used mindlessly, erode them. Now, we want to be very clear. This is not an anti-technology rant. Screens connect distant families. They give access to health information, telemedicine, and community you might not have locally. Daytime, purposeful, active screen use is a very different animal than late-night, passive doomscrolling. In fact, one randomized trial showed that when people capped their smartphone use to around 2 hours a day for just 3 weeks, they reported better mood, less stress, and better sleep quality compared to controls. When they slipped back into old habits, the benefits faded. So the goal isn't guilt, it's design. We want to reshape how, when, and why you use your devices so your nervous system gets to recover. So how do you detox without moving to a cabin and mailing letters? Let's build a 7-day digital detox you can actually finish. Day 0 is your baseline. Tonight or tomorrow morning, check your phone's screen time or digital well-being stats. Write down your total daily screen time and, more importantly, your time on social media, YouTube, and other infinite scroll apps. Note your usual bedtime and wake time and, if you track it, your average steps. Rate your mood and energy from 1 to 10. For the next 7 days, we're going to do 3 core things. Number 1, a nightly digital sunset. Number 2, movement breaks to break up sitting. Number 3, phone placement and app design that protect your focus. First, the digital sunset. For 7 nights, commit to no recreational screens for 90 minutes before bed. That means no social feeds, no short-form video loops, no intense news cycles. If you need to use a device for something essential, like a quick message or map, use night mode, lower the brightness, and avoid emotionally charged content. Replace that time with low-light, low-arousal activities, a paper book, a print magazine, stretching on the floor, a short walk outside if it's safe, or a slow conversation with someone in your home. If that sounds boring, that's kind of the point. Your nervous system needs boring in the evenings. Second, movement micro breaks. Set a simple timer or use an app to remind you every 30 to 45 minutes while you're on screens during the day. When it goes off, stand up, walk for 1 to 2 minutes, or do 10 bodyweight squats or calf raises. These tiny breaks keep blood flowing, lower glucose, and reset posture. They are the opposite of, I sat here for 3 hours and forgot my legs exist. Third, phone placement. During your deep work blocks and during meals, put your phone in another room. Not just screen down next to you. Literally out of reach and out of sight. Studies show your cognitive performance is best when the phone is nowhere in the room, even if it's turned off. To help with this, rearrange your home screen. Remove your most addictive apps from the front page and tuck them into a folder you have to scroll to find. Turn on app timers for social media and videos to nudge you when you hit your daily cap, ideally 2 hours or less of recreational time. This mirrors those RCTs where limiting use improved mood and sleep. There are optional upgrades if you want to go further. You can set your phone to grayscale in the evenings, which makes everything less stimulating. You can batch notifications so they only arrive 3 times a day instead of constantly. You can create focus modes or do not disturb templates, like work, family dinner, and sleep, and activate them with one tap. As you go through the week, keep tracking a few simple metrics. What time did you get into bed? How long did it feel like it took you to fall asleep? How alert did you feel the next morning on a scale of 1 to 10? How many hours did you spend on your phone, and how much of that was after 8 p.m.? How many steps did you get, or how many minutes of moderate activity? By day 7, most people notice earlier bedtimes, less wired but tired feeling at night, fewer random neck and shoulder aches from late scrolling, and a small but real lift in mood and energy. And maybe the strangest part, silence feels less threatening. Your brain remembers how to be bored without panicking. Before we close, a quick reminder to check the description after this video. We've included a link to our book, Longevity Compass, which gives you a week-by-week blueprint for sleep, movement, recovery, and nutrition. We've also added a few simple tools that support better light hygiene and sleep, like blue light blocking glasses, amber evening bulbs, and comfortable sleep masks. You never have to buy anything, but if you're ready to upgrade your evenings, those products can make it much easier. So here's your challenge. Pick one lever and start tonight. Maybe it's a 90-minute digital sunset. Maybe it's charging your phone outside your bedroom. Maybe it's adding movement breaks to your workday. Whatever you choose, commit to it for 7 days and watch what happens to your sleep, your focus, and your energy. Most of what ages us faster isn't dramatic. It's tiny, repeated friction against our biology. Too much light at the wrong time, too little movement, too many distractions. The good news is, you can change that friction with a handful of simple design choices. If this video helped you see your screen habits differently, please hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a gentle nudge away from midnight scrolling. And let me know in the comments, what's the one digital habit you're going to change this week? Phone in another room, digital sunset, app timers, or something else? Your attention is the front door to your longevity habits. Guard it well. We'll see you in the next video.